All right, so hi everybody. It's August 21st, and I know a lot of people are up in arms that the National Guard from various states now is in D.C. Conducting, in essence, law enforcement operations. And they're saying, no, wait a minute. That's our army. They're not supposed to be doing law enforcement. Well, no. That's the difference between the active army and the reserve army and the guard. The guard is a state thing, and they can enforce laws, unless, of course, they're mobilized by the feds, in which case they're basically the same now as the active army. Okay, so there's a National Guard regulation on pertaining to law enforcement. So I'm going to read this to you. Okay, state laws and policies govern the use of National Guard soldiers and airmen in support of domestic law enforcement support and mission assurance operations while serving in state active duty and U.S. Code Title 32. Now, the regular active duty people are Title 10. But when the governor mobilizes his or her people, now they're Title 32. Okay? State laws and policies authorize National Guard members in either Title 32 or state active duty status to support law enforcement agencies and are implemented through state plans and policies. As most National Guard operations in support of law enforcement and mission assurance are conducted in a non-federalized status, a clear understanding of applicable state policies is critical to mission success. It is strongly recommended that state commanders receive a legal briefing addressing state-specific laws, policies, directives, and executive orders from their Judge Advocate General prior to conducting domestic law enforcement support and mission assurance operations within their respective states. Okay, so right there. As I've known for many years, but apparently some people don't know at all, that the National Guard can conduct law enforcement operations. That's the same way that the Coast. Okay, there's the one difference between the Coast Guard and the Navy is that of the two, only the Coast Guard can conduct law enforcement operations. Now, the Navy or any service can provide support to them, but when it comes time so boarding a boat and locking somebody up in handcuffs, only the Coast Guard can do that. So that's another nuance of how the military services, which include the Coast Guard, can operate. Okay, so now, whether the mobilization of all these Guard people is necessary or not, or even cost beneficial, because there may be too many of them, that's irrelevant to the fact that, yes, they are authorized to conduct law enforcement operations. Now, it's interesting, in the regulations, now, like Title 10 people in combat operations, they have rules of engagement. In other words, when can you fire your weapons? But here, for this situation here, they don't have rules of engagement. They have rules on the use of force. Okay, so it's decidedly less lethal. Okay. But anyway, that's all I got.